Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am Jared Rimmel. I am the head girls basketball coach at Linton Stockton. And first of all, I just want to thank the IBCA for allowing me to put this presentation together. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully it's some things that you guys can pick up on. Obviously, these are things that we feel are important every day. Fortunately for me, we have been able to have really talented, really skilled players that have bought into what we want to do. And, there's probably three things that really stick out with the group of student athletes that we have right now. And the first one being unselfishness. We have good players, but they're unselfish. They don't care who gets the credit. They just want to win. The second one is probably the attention to detail that they have. They even if they win, they want to know what they can do to improve. And, that's every single day. As you can see at the bottom, one of the quotes that we talk about and that we try to live by is everybody, every day, every play. And that is something that we really try to go about every single day, and every possession matters. And the last thing is for them is competing. They've really bought into just competing on every possession. We talk about it all the time where, just compete on every possession, because there's a winner or a loser on every possession. And, if you don't get a stop, if the other team scores, then we lost that one. So, we're 0-1. If we go down and miss or don't get a good shot and don't score, now we've lost 2 in a row. And we don't, they've really embraced that. So that's been really good. So the two things that I'm going to talk about today is our pace of practice, kind of every single day, and what we want to accomplish. And then we get a lot of questions on, obviously, our defense and our zone, our 1-2-2, and how we go about it every single day. So hope you enjoy. We'll go ahead and get started here. The first thing, like I said, we're going to talk about is just like our pace of practice. We'll go through the list here and kind of touch on some points that I feel like are important. They might not be huge things, but we feel like, again, the little things add up to big things. So, we're going to go through them and I'll try to explain them and talk about them and how we feel like they affect us every day. I feel like practice is all about flow and rhythm and keeping the kids interested and engaged and focused on the task at hand. And if you have big lapses, or if you have a lot of kids standing around, it kind of makes it tough. So we try to keep practice moving. We try to keep them interested. I hate having kids stand around. Like, we have 22 kids on the team this year, and we wanted to break them up and have them all doing something as much as possible. Obviously, towards the end of the year and in the postseason, that changes. But, throughout the year, we want kids getting the most they can out of practice. So we'll start by talking about before practice, our pre-practice. That is, getting to practice early. At least 15 minutes you're on the court, shoes are tied, jerseys are on, you're going and getting a ball. You're not just talking, standing around the gym. You're going and getting a ball. You're getting in front of the goal. You're doing step-ins. We're doing form shooting. We're getting our feet loose. We're getting our hands, body, everything going, right? So that way we can, we'll take 5 to 10 minutes to stretch, and then hopefully we're ready to go. And one thing that we have done is, we'll start a clock, and, whoever's not there, we're going to go ahead and start practice. And we'll let that clock run until everybody gets there, or all the players are there, whatever. And then at the end of practice, or before we start practice, however many minutes they were late, the team will just run for those minutes. They've really bought into, if they get there early, we can get out of practice earlier. So, instead of going from 5:30 or 5:45, maybe if they get there and we take care of business, and we can get started earlier, then, we're getting out of practice at 5 or 5:15. So they enjoy that. They enjoy knowing if they go hard and they compete and they go about, taking care of their business, then they're going to get out earlier. So, luckily for us, we have a lot of student athletes that have bought into that. I feel like, our coach's attitude dictates how practice will go. Obviously, if you know me, or if you've seen me on the sidelines or whatever, I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of enthusiasm. I'm competitive. And, I want to bring that every day. I feel like I can't expect that out of our players if it's not coming directly from me and the assistant coaches. So I try to put whatever, we're having a bad day, or I'm having a bad day, or I've had a bad day at work, or, the players have bad days. We're dealing with high school kids, they have relationships, school stuff, home life stuff that get in the way. So I have to try to come in with a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of positive feedback. And then, then I can expect it out of them. Again, with our assistant coaches, I want them involved. I want them knowing what we are doing each day. So we try to, obviously the season gets going and it gets harder and harder, but what I try to do is get our assistant coaches the scouting or the practice report as quick as possible. And the practice plan as quick as possible. And that way they know what's going on and they know what drills we're doing that day. Or I will give it to them right before we start practice. And while we're getting warmed up and loose, they can go through it and know kind of where the stations are, what we want to do and how we want to accomplish it. I'll also give it to our manager. Our manager will have it over there at the clock and they'll know whether, how long we're going to drill for, what the next drill is. Are we keeping score of, are we keeping track of turnovers or missed shots or missed layups, or, they know, what to do. One thing that we do is, if we're going to introduce a new drill or something, we try to do it in the summer or fall. We have, our players go through it and see it and understand it. And then that way, when it gets to actual practice time, we can just get right into it. And, they know what to do. They know how to do it. And I really, really communicate a lot with our captains because we want the players to lead practice. We want them to lead the drills and let them understand it. So I talk to them a lot about what the plan is for the day or the week, what drills we're wanting, what we want out of the drills. And so they can kind of take responsibility for getting us in them. And if it's not good, then, I will get upset with our captains for not getting us to the next drill or not having the drill go like we want it to. Obviously things change and you have good days and bad days, but usually the players are responsible for getting us to the next drill and getting us going. So if they're leading each segment, if they're leading each drill, then, I think good things will happen. What we want to do is have consistency in how we set up our practice. I can guarantee you that our juniors and seniors could easily run one of our practices just because we try to set it up the same every day. Now, that doesn't mean we do the same drills, but, we're going to start practice every single day with box closeouts into clipper closeouts in our USI drill into, whether it be some type of fundamental drill, whether it's passing or ball handling or whatever it is, kind of get us loose. And then we're going to go right into like transition. So, transition defense, transition offense is super important to us. We really hit it hard early on in the year because we feel like it's probably the most important thing is try to get easy baskets, try to take away easy baskets. So, that's how we kind of start practice every day. So, they know like kind of what we're going to do. Now, they might not know exact drill we're doing, but when we call it out, they know kind of the procedure that we have going, and that helps them kind of stay in rhythm, know what's coming, and really get to the next drill and get it started. We don't want to take from one drill. We don't want to take our time and explain it and then have people not know where to go. Like that it wastes time. And I don't like being in the gym when we're wasting time. We don't want any walking between drills. We want players sprinting to each drill. We want to get them in their spots. We want to get them going. We don't want to stop the drills a whole lot, even if somebody messes up or if there's, whatever, if they make a mistake, we're going to let them know while they're playing, or we'll take that individual to the side and talk to them that way. I used to not do that very well. I used to do a lot more talking and stopping, and I wanted everything to be perfect. And, over the last few years, it's kind of evolved to where I let them make them mistakes. And then if they continue to make them, then, okay, we'll say, hey, where's the problem here? And that just seems to be better, instead of trying to have a perfect drill. I want kids to be playing and to make them mistakes. And then, we'll translate that into game situations. And that's what we do. So we'll do a lot of, so we'll start practice that way. We'll go into like fundamental things, and then we'll go into like whatever we're working on that day. So say we're talking about our 1-2-2 defense, and we'll do like a 6-minute worth of drills, and then we'll play for 6 minutes, because we want to take it from our drills to game-like situations. So can we carry that over, and you see why we're talking about it in a drill over to a game? And then if, after that 6 minutes, if we're going on to, if we're going to look at offensive execution or whatever, we'll, for 6 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever, we'll go over our offensive execution in drill work, or whatever it is. And then we'll say, okay, we're going to play a 6-minute, 8-minute game here, working on what we just worked on in drill, because we want to carry it over straight from drill to play. And I think that has really helped us understand, why we work on things. And then not only that, the kids are, they're getting to play a lot more. Again, less talking and more playing is really, really big for us. We have simple drills. There's not anything crazy about our drills. We want to do things that they're going to do in a game, and then let them carry them over. And then obviously for us, we want to do it loud with energy and enthusiasm. So we always talk about this at the bottom of the page. You'll see it's celebrate your teammate. Always celebrate your teammate in practice and in games. So in our practice, you'll see a lot of times they might celebrate. We want them to celebrate a good screen, celebrate a good closeout, celebrate a good block out, whatever it is. Not just scoring, but celebrate your teammate and be excited for them. Have energy, have enthusiasm, and it really kind of rubs off. Now, we're going to show you a couple drills and how we would start a practice. Obviously, this is we had our kids come in, and so it's in the off season here. So we're not as enthusiastic or have as much energy as I would like. If this was the real season, we probably would have stopped it and started over or whatever. But so this right here is our basically our clipper closeouts, where we're wanting to get loose. We want kids talking to each other. We want them engaged with each other. So, we're going to get their feet moving. We're going to get them doing closeouts. We're going to get them touching, slapping hands, communicating, and then blocking out and going and getting the ball. We've got 4 girls here waiting ready, which usually we would have them further back off the baseline so they don't, nobody gets hurt. And then, so right over here, you'll see our freshmen. So our freshmen are soon to be freshmen. They've not been in or seen our drills a ton. So they're going to sit here and watch. And then when they feel comfortable, we'll get them in. But that's what they'll do from now until the season starts. So they know exactly how we're going to want to start practice, what's expected. And so they can just jump right in when the season starts. So I'm going to turn the sound on here so you guys can kind of hear. All right, we're going to get to the next one. We'll do this for 3 or 4 minutes. And that just gets them going. Closeouts are super important for us, so we do them every day. All right, so we're going to go straight from this, and then we're going to go straight to perfect passing. They already know what perfect passing is. They know where to go, how to get there, and then we're wanting to go. We're wanting to get this drill started immediately. Probably took a little bit longer than what we normally had. Like I said, this was 7:30 in the morning on in the off season, so I'm just happy that we were able to get them in here. Always finish when we're on this side. We always finish with our left hand. Sprint to your spots, talk to each other, yell who you're throwing it to. And then like this drill, if you turn it over, then it goes on the board and we run for it. Just little things like that. This is a freshman this year, so she uses her right hand. We would have put a notch on the board for that. and you know, they would have ran for that right-handed layup. We'll kind of go through here. So again, this is just another drill that gets us warmed up, trying to get us into the flow, ready to go, ready to start practice, and right into it. So this will be the last time we do this, and then we're going to go right into our transition drill. So our transition drill is basically, we've got 5 girls, we've got a trailer, we've got a rim runner, we've got girls that are running the wings, or we call it smashing the corner, smashing the baseline. We want them getting as deep to the baseline as possible. And then our point guard basically has 5 decisions that she makes getting up and down. So for this, we didn't have a camera person up here, so you're not going to see one side of the floor, but you kind of get the point of what we're doing. So we're going straight from perfect passing right into our transition drill, you know, and we would go from transition offense, and then we'd work on transition defense. And then, you know, then we would be right into our fundamentals. And our assistant coaches would be on the other end of the floor, and they would be doing this drill with the other 10 or 11 girls, on the other side. So all these girls are, you know, all 22 girls are going to be doing something, you know, at all times. And, you know, that's kind of what we want. And we feel like that not only helps them stay engaged, but it also helps with our conditioning, because, you know, we don't do a ton of just running. We do a lot of drills that are like this here. So you see the rim runner sprinting to the baseline as hard as she can. You know, our guard, we tell them 2 dribbles or less in that. So that's kind of how we go about practice. That's kind of how we want to do things. Like, you know, having the flow and just doing things consistently that way helps keep our practices going well, and keeps the focus and the energy and everything up. We don't give them time to really stand around and, you know, get to talking or whatever they want to do. So that's kind of how we approach practice. That's, you know, just the way we do it. And, you know, it seems to keep them engaged and work. All right. So that's our pace of practice, our flow of practice. We will now, obviously that was drill to drill conversion. Now I'll talk about building our 1-2-2 defense. So obviously this is something that we've played a ton over the last 3, 4, or 5 years. This past year, we played it a lot more. You know, for us, we want to keep teams uncomfortable. We wanted to get possessions and you know, but we didn't want to give up points. So if we could get it going, we wanted to find something that we didn't give up points, but we could get the pace and we could get the possessions that we wanted. So position is really important for us. We want to trap, but we don't want to go flying around and getting ourselves out of position. So, you know, we talk about being in position a ton, and being in the right spot and knowing when to trap and when not to trap. But, you know, we work on it a lot. So here's the keys to our 1-2-2 and building it from the inside out. So we basically started as a 3-2, and then we extended out depending on, you know, a lot of things depend on personnel and the teams that we're playing on how we want to play it. First thing is, just like any defense, is communication. We've got to talk to each other. We got to let the person behind you know that, you know, that they have your back. So, you know, we'll turn up music in practice. They like the music. They like it loud, but the louder it is, the louder they have to talk, which is, you know, we do that on occasion, just forcing them. If we can't hear them over the music, then, you know, they have to run walls or whatever it is. And, you know, that seems to help. Ball pressure, we want them uncomfortable and in their vision. You know, we don't want them sitting and being able to throw skip passes across our zone, or being able to throw it wherever they want to, because, you know, you're not always going to be in the right spot. But if you can put pressure on the ball and make the ball handler uncomfortable, then obviously we can get away with a lot more things inside our zone. We talked about it. I've said it already before on here. Like, we want to close out everywhere on the floor. Like, if it's full court and we're trapping in the full court, we want to everybody's closing out to their spot. If it's half court, we want to close out. If it's balls on the wing, top. Now, depending on where it's at is how we want to close out, and depending on personnel is how we want to close out. But we really teach being in position and ready to guard, because we don't want anybody just being able to take it and rip it and go past us. There's exceptions for a lot of these things, but for our basic principles in this, we want no traps 2 in a row. We want to get a good trap, and then we want to get back in position. And then obviously if the person holds it for too long, then we'll go. But when I mean that, I don't want like the wing going up top and trapping in the top corner, and then trying to sprint down to the bottom corner and trapping. Now, they do it on occasion. There's obviously, again, certain situations, and we'll show them here in a little bit on that. But for the most part, we want a good trap, and then let's get in position and recover. And then, if it's thrown out of it, okay, now we can go trap again. And so no traps 2 in a row. No baseline drives. Baseline drives is like our worst enemy. We don't want anybody ripping us baseline because that puts us in a compromising position, and really, really brings help, and it really, drags the defense down for us. And we don't want that. So we spend a lot of time with our post players closing out into the corners and taking proper angles and trying to force them back into our defense and force them back into a trap in our wing. We want no ball side block or no ball side elbow. Again, big no-nos. The bottom side opposite post player, if you're on the opposite side, you have to sprint to the ball side block. Like, make them throw over the top and make them throw a skip pass to beat us. If they throw a skip pass and to beat us, then a couple of girls aren't going hard, or we're not getting enough ball pressure. But one thing they can't do is just enter it straight into the ball side block, because again, that kills us, and that gets us in the teeth of the defense. Same thing with ball side elbow. We really try to take it away from there. Now, there's times where we have exceptions, again, just with personnel and teams who we're playing. Another big one, obviously, is defend without fouling. That's why we close out. We want to move our feet. We want to get in a position where we're not going to, again, we're playing a trapping defense. So, we're going to be out of position at times. We don't want to go and reach and foul. We want to move our feet, show our hands, keep our hands above our elbows, and, just use our length and athleticism and let it do the work. If the ball does go middle, we basically say get to the level of the ball. It just turns into a matchup zone, or it turns into man. Find a man in your area once the ball goes middle, and then once it's back out, we can get back into our 1-2-2. And I'll try to show a couple clips of that as well, because obviously if the ball goes middle, we're in a bad spot. But what we try to do is just get to the level of the ball, find a person in your area, make them get it out of there, and then any retreat pass we're okay with. And then, make them make a shot over the top of us. Finish with a backside rebound. A lot of times, we've got 5 girls to the ball. That backside wing's over there by herself, and she's really, it's really tough sometimes, but, we need our top point guard to go rebound. We need our backside wing to rebound outside her area. It's tough, but in order for us to be able to play this, and they enjoy playing it, then they have to take responsibility on rebounding the ball. A saying that we like to say, I stole this from Coach Hart and his 1-3-1. It's over us, around us, never through us. That's so true. We want them throwing over the top of us. We want to throw them around us, but nothing through us. So if it goes, if we have dribble penetration, that really kills us, because now one person's beaten 2. We don't want any penetrating passes through us. If we're not in their vision and we're not in the passing lanes, then if they go from, you know, one corner and swing it and swing to the other corner. It doesn't matter what we're playing. We're not going to be able to catch up to the ball. So if they throw it, you know, from the top to the middle, you know, it doesn't matter what we're playing. If they can get the ball into the paint or in the middle, then obviously we're in trouble, and we're again in a compromising position. So, you know, that's kind of our rules. We just don't ever want to get out of position, even though we're trapping. We really don't want to get out of position. So now we're going to go here. I'm going to share my screen here. And so here's, I'm going to show a couple drills here that we do, and kind of show you some positioning things. Then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to show some things on, I'm going to show some live game film here, and we can go through that. So right now we have, you can't really tell in the video right here, maybe you can tell it. So we use jump ropes. I have found this has been the best thing for us in our zone. We want to be one unit as a defense. So we give these two girls, the bottom two girls are basically a team, and they want to move together. And then these three girls are a team, right? And we need them to move together. So the point guard here, the top of our 1-2-2 or 3-2 has a jump rope that she's holding with her, and she also has a jump rope that she's holding with her. So they all have to move together. If she sprints to here and she stands there, then she's going to pull the jump rope on her, and it's going to show that she wasn't sprinting to her spot. You know, if she's not moving to her spots, then she's going to, you know, she's going to lose the jump rope. So kind of holds each player responsible. If she sprints to here and she's not getting to her spot, she's not getting the ball side block, then it's going to pull the jump rope. So there's really no getting out of saying I was there or I went hard or I sprinted. You know, I don't care how you get to your spot, just get there. That's what we tell them all the time. I don't care if you run, defensive slide, whatever you have to do. So we do this early on in the year a lot. Obviously it tapers off throughout the year just because our girls are, you know, they're so used to playing it. So here is our drill with the, let me go back here. Okay. Above your elbows. Okay. She's closing out here. Again, we want it baseline. We want her in the gap here, taking away drive, and then she's closing out here. We want this top girl taking away ball side elbow. This girl's taking away ball side block. This girl's got all backside. That's the top wing here. So you'll hear them talking and closing out. That's what we want. Okay. So back to the corner. Again, we want everybody where it's at. Closing out. You see how she's closing out. We want her teeing it up and forcing it back here. So this wing's here is in the driving lane. She's going to be able to close out here. This girl's, you know, obviously we haven't went through it here for a couple months, but she should probably be a little bit higher, and she should be a little bit higher. We would have let them know that, but for the drill, and again 7:30 and in the off season we'll let it go. But she's got all of backside, this wing here. So when the ball goes up, she has to rebound her area outside of her area here. If she just stands and watches, then one of these two girls is going to get a rebound. She has to go crash the boards on this side as well. So we want to close out. Again, they're all moving with the jump ropes. You can see the jump ropes here. And the reason she's probably a little too low is because the jump rope's not long enough. So she's probably pulling her a little bit further than she normally would. And so that was our first group. And then we always, you know, obviously we always do it with a couple groups. So we want to pinch middle here. Okay, we want ball pressure here on the ball. And then these two girls, we want them a little bit higher. So if she's pressuring the ball, if we've got great ball pressure, then they can't throw over the top of our back two girls. You know, obviously we have some athleticism, and if you're with your hands up, it's just a tough pass to get there. So we want them a little higher than probably normal, just because, you know, we want to make it tough to get through us. This girl's taking backside. You know, this girl's probably one of our best defenders. She's definitely one of our most aggressive defenders. So I let her get away with a little bit more just because she creates a little bit of chaos for us that we need and gives us a different look than than our point guard that's normally up there. But you know. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll go straight from the jump ropes just to like basically shell drill. And then, so what we would do in a normal practice is then we would go play. We'd play a 6 or 8 minute game, and we would watch their rotations and watch their defense here to see if they were doing what they were supposed to do. So now you see the jump ropes are taken away, but you can tell that they're still where they're supposed to be. So I'm coming here to show her, hey, deny the ball side block. You know, we've got good ball pressure here. She's in a helping position. She's in a helping position, and she's taking away everything on the backside. Again, she's going to drop down and try to take this middle away. You know, you got to anticipate a little bit. She's already moving on the pass. She's already getting a ball side block. I mean, she's been told now for a long time, get to ball side block. So she's already heading there. Before this pass even happens, she's already going to try to get there. So she's there. There again, she's taking this away. She's sprinting here to middle, take this away. And then we'll have another group do it again. These two girls are freshmen, so they're learning, sophomore, junior. So these girls are understanding how to play and what they need to do. They're pinching, and then they're closing out into the ball pressure. And she's going to take it away. You know, this was really pretty good. Pretty good rotations. She stayed for too long. She should have been sprinting here, but we'd be okay with that, and we would go right into game play on that and let them play and see how they. So that's how we build it from basically the inside out. Now what we'll do is we'll start extending it. So now we'll go into our full out 12 where we're trap. Again, even though we're trapping, we don't want to get out of position. So we're closing out into our traps. They hear me say that a lot, where we want to close out into our traps. So we don't want the ball middle. So this top girl, again, you're not going to be able to see it because I didn't get up there and get the film switched. But they're going to pinch middle first, and then they're going to, instead of sprinting at their man, they want to get wide first and get in this passing lane and then close out. So we want to basically corral the player into a trap. And, you know, if we start them up here, you know, we have different rules against different teams, but if we're starting in our high 12, extended 12, then as soon as it comes across half court, we're wanting to trap. And you can't quite see that, but you can see Haley Rose here, our seniors. She's closing out into her trap there. We're getting a great trap here. She's taking middle away, this other wing. She probably needs to be a little bit higher. These two girls a little bit higher, but she's got next pass here. So now, you know, we don't want to trap 2 in a row, right? So now Haley's job would be to go right here. Again, that's all personnel-wise, right, and team-wise, but she has to sprint back to here. So she has to contain the dribbler until Haley can get back here in a position to help with the drive. Now, if she holds it and keeps it over her head, once Haley feels like she's in a good guarding position, then she can come attack her with a trap. Point guard's goal here is to sprint back to the middle and take away anything in the middle. And now this girl, again, we're back into our 3-2 principles. She's getting back here, taking backside away. She's taking away ball side. So now Haley, once Haley feels comfortable here and we're set and this girl's held it for a minute, then she can go with the trap. If not, okay, now we're extending it here, but we're gonna really wait, and then if she holds it, then we're gonna come with a trap. We're gonna come with closeouts and corral, not let her split us, and not let her beat us off the bounce. We're gonna come in with a trap here with 2 closeouts. It's swung over here. She's sprinting to the sideline. Obviously, we're not sprinting to the ball because we don't want her to catch it and throw a direct to the corner, because now that's a shooter. It's probably going to catch and shoot against us. So she's sprinting to the wing. This girl is sprinting to the middle, okay? And then this girl's sprinting to take this away as well. So you see her adjust. Now, we don't consider that trapping 2 in a row because she feels comfortable enough and she's played it for a long time. So she's going to cheat it a little bit. And now they're going to go and close out up here. Okay. She's taking middle away up there. Again, we're okay with this pass here as long as it's not penetrating. It's over the top of us. Throws it there. Okay. Now she's dropping down here. Take away backside. She's ball side. She's guarding in the corner. Now, again, she's going to go trap here, but we want her to come here and then trap. But she's so used to playing it. She sees how deep she is here. She's going to just go running. Our top girl, again, is taking away ball side elbow. So now we got her to where she's coming here, and now she's going to go attack the trap with a closeout. Okay, so here we've contained. She's taken away middle, so they can't throw it there. And now we're going to come with a trap again. Everybody's back in their position. Again, we're going to take away middle. This girl's taking away middle. Now we've got, again, one of our athletic defenders up top, just an athlete. We're going to give her a little more room to go and trap because she does create chaos for us, and it gives us a different look. See, we're talking to her here about just staying put for a minute, just seeing what's going on, evaluating. Don't let them slide somebody in here. If they throw it back here, you're still in position. Let her do a little work here. Let her go up and pressure the ball and make them make a decision with her pressuring. And then we can go and get a closeout or a closeout into the trap. There we go. Good. Just seems like that keeps us in position better and makes it harder to score rather than just kind of running around and being, kind of just being crazy. Okay. So that's kind of how we build it, kind of from the inside out there. Obviously we've tweaked it, and over the last few years, we try to keep people off balance. We'll, obviously if you've seen us play, we'll go 2-2-1 back into it. We'll just go into like 1-2-2 full court, 1-2-2 3/4 court. We'll go full court man with trapping the first pass back into it. We're trying to keep everybody off balance instead of just rolling it out and saying, hey, here's our 1-2-2. Try to beat it. One more drill, and then we'll show a couple of game time with our 1-2-2 in different angles. So what we do here is, again, we'll have a girl on the block. We'll have 2 girls on this wing, 2 girls on this wing back to back, and then 2 girls up top. And all we're doing for 15 or 20 seconds is sprinting into a closeout and then sprinting back, and then sprinting into a closeout, and then sprinting back. So here it is. So we'll just do this. So they're used to closing out. Now, what we'll do too is each person will get a ball, and then they will try to split them. They will try to dribble around them, and you have to contain the dribble and keep your trap. We didn't do it today, but that's what we usually do. We always finish with getting everybody together, clapping and getting together and holding it up. So that's kind of how we build it from the inside out. That's kind of our rules and what we're looking for and how we're trying to, get stops, get possessions without giving up too many easy baskets. All right, we'll go through a few of these clips here and should be good. All right, so obviously you can see us here. Here we're in our extended 1-2-2. This is again the athlete that I was talking about, so it's going to be a little different than another girl playing it. But we are extended here. She gets back, holds the middle. Now they're pinching middle. Now we want her to pressure the ball. Good. Good. As you can see in that trap, we don't just go running crazy. We want to crowd the trap, and it's like a delayed trap. We're bringing two, and then once they're comfortable, then they'll start getting up and obviously, force a turnover. Next one here, again, we're just pressuring the ball. We're kind of extending it. We're not really trapping yet. We haven't gotten the trap, so they're just holding their position. Now you see her closing out. Okay, again, personnel-wise, depends on your closeout. She's holding her spot. Good. She takes baseline away. But see, we've got them, way outside the of where they can attack from, and we create a bad shot. Or a tough shot, I should say. Again, we're not as extended here, so obviously we're packed in just a little bit more. But then once they put it over their head, then we're going. We feel like anytime somebody puts it over their head, then they're not in a position to shoot it or attack us. And, they can only do one thing, and that's pass. And that's when we really want to go and put some pressure on them. So we started out low, and now we're slowly extending it because they're taking their time. Goes middle. She's supposed to get level. She's kind of level. We don't want her to completely turn towards the ball. And then she needs to be about one more step here to be perfect. But we're still in a spot here. And, again, we don't go crazy with the trap. We're just kind of slowly getting into it. Both of them drop to the level of the ball. There. Okay, so now obviously we've changed how we're going to attack it. Now we're attacking the first as soon as they get past half court, right? So now she's being a little more aggressive. She's played it for a long time. She's a very smart player. She's kind of reading it here, and to where she doesn't just take middle. She's trying to get a steal here, but still they recover well. Pressuring the ball, close out. Again, great closeout and taking away baseline here. We would definitely stop and make a notice of this bottom girl here, closing out and big stepping herself there, and then you know, she goes to the trap and gets out of position, but they're playing so hard that you know, it's hard to get mad at them. When we would tell them, hey, stay on your feet, we have her, but I loved our rotations there. Again, it's not, you know, we're not hard trapping, but we're still, we're coming if you hold it for too long. Good. You know, it's just good positioning there, and it creates the turnover. You know, we don't ever want to go before it gets across half court, obviously. So now we're waiting on it. She's up a little bit in a great spot. She's in a really good spot here where she can get that pass. She can get anything over the top. She's trying to play center field here so she can try to get any, you know, either any soft passes. So here we're not obviously trapping just yet. We're just containing, and now we're going to go. If it does go baseline, this girl's got to just be strong. And then, you know, again, we're in compromising position, but, you know, she comes over and helps, and we've still got girls in good spot here. So we end up getting a turnover on that possession. So we want to pinch middle to start here until they pick a side. Okay. Good. Okay, again, we're starting it different, right? You know, we've started it from inside the 3-point line. We started at the at the volleyball line. Now we're just going to have this girl come up and pressure the ball. Now we're bringing obviously a little more pressure. It's a little bit different than just the, you know, the delayed trap. Here's our, again, no trap, but we have the threat of the trap. We tell our girls all the time, sometimes the threat of a trap is better than the actual trap. So, you know, she was up a little bit higher. No trap actually happens. And, you know, she wants to get rid of it because the trap might come, and ends up making a bad pass, and we get control of it. Again, here we're starting it different. we are packing it in here, obviously, giving them a different look. We're going to try to throw over the top of us. I love our closeout here. Our post player doesn't allow baseline, forces her back into our defense, forces her back into the trap, and we get a tip ball. Almost a turnover out of it, but we definitely let her know, the bottom girl, like that was a great effort there, you know, because you got post players that are trying to guard guards on the perimeter sometimes, and you know, that was just her anticipating her trying to drive baseline. Same thing, just another outstanding closeout into into the baseline, and so that's kind of how we go about it, and what we want to do and how we want to go about our 1-2-2. Again, we have different kind of little exceptions inside of different teams and different personnel wise, but you know, if we can keep teams uncomfortable and not compromise giving up easy baskets, that's really what we want to do, and we're still getting the pace the way we want to. So hopefully that that helped. Hopefully that is, you know, some people can take some things off of that and understand, you know, a little better of what we do. I will be happy to ask or answer any questions about it and how we play it and any other drills that we do with it or any other rules that we have with it. My email is rimmelj@gmail.com. Feel free to shoot me an email and you know, ask me any questions that you would like. So that's all I have for today. I appreciate it again, appreciate the opportunity, and look forward to, you know, presenting again sometime and look forward to kind of getting back out on the basketball court. Thank you guys.